you. 30th of July, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos.
Okay, good morning. As Lou mentioned, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here. Yeshiva Shlomo Nafshi here. Yerushalayim Care Zoom. It's our first year learning the Maharal right now on Avram Avinu and his connection with Zikna and being the first gear. Gear meaning could mean two connotations that we mentioned yesterday. Gear is either and a stranger and or a convert, depending. So okay, let's go now. We have the okay. So again, just to recap, the mentioning of the Galus Mitzrayim, that Kadosh Baruch Hu was geyser, that the offspring of Avraham Avinu had to go to Galus, be strangers, and be enslaved by people, not their own. That was a consequences of the statements made at the Bris Bein Besorim. And how is that connected? So according to the Ramban, if you remember, the Ramban says it has to do with some type of a error on the part of Avraham Avinu, that he went down and exposed Sarah to Sakana when he went down to Mitzrayim. But the Maharal's bringing that they ask on the Ramban, and they don't accept that pshat. Don't accept that pshat. So now they speak about what were the other possible reasons why we had to go into Golos and be enslaved in Mitzrayim. So that's where we'll pick this up paragraph over here. Ki kasher adam yidaktek. Okay. Any volunteers? Lou, would you like to read, or Mayor, would you like to read?
I would like to read.
Okay, go ahead.
Ki kasher hadam yidaktek b'zeh v'lomar she Yisrael ba'o biglos bishvil makiras Yosef. Okay, so since when the man yidaktek is what, to be meticulous?
Yeah, well, analytical if you like.
Analytical. In this teaching that Israel went into exile because Mekiras Yosef. What's Mekiras?
The selling of Yosef. Mekiras Yosef.
The selling of Yosef. So
meaning truthful enough. I mean, if you'll simply look at the psukim, right? Look at the Chumash, it would seem that the going down to Mitzrayim was a result of the selling of Yosef.
Right. Why is that being yidaktek? That's the pshita.
Right. So that's meaning if you're not going to rely on the drushing and the other information we have, we simply midaktik in the psukim itself, just to analyze what the Torah is saying itself, you'll come to that conclusion.
Okay, Yimtza Shezeh Hafech Mash Maos Hakasuv. We find that this is what is hafach?
It's the opposite. It's the opposite. The opposite.
This is the opposite of what we derive from the pasuk.
It's the opposite of what's written, right? I mean, don't if you're gonna come to the conclusion that the reason why we went down to Egypt is because of the selling of Yosef, that's going to be opposite to the things which are written. We'll take a look. What is it?
Shahakadosh Baruch Hu Omar Lo the Avraham Kodem Liad Ta
Leidas Hashvatim.
Leidas Hashvachim Yadua
Shvatim, the 12 sons, of Yaakov.
Right, Hashvatim Yadua Teda Ki Ger Yeh Zaracha Va'avadom Ve'anu Osam Arba Maos Shana. That Hashem said to him, to Abraham, before what's Leidas?
That's the birth of the Shvatim. When Hashem spoke to Avraham about going, there's offspring will have to go to be enslaved, right? So that statement that Akash Baruch Hu made to Avraham Avinu was before the birth of the shift of the 12 sons of Yaakov.
Right. Yado Teda, we know for sure. Ki ger yeh. Oh, this is the quote. You will certainly know that a stranger you will be. Your offspring will be strangers. Bye bye, Judy. And servants. And they will serve them 400 years. So in other words, the contradiction is that way before the Shvatim were even born, Hashem already prophesied to Abraham what was going to happen. So now how can you say that that the reason that it happened was something that occurred many years later?
Right.
V'chol mi sheyesh lo einayim liros yireh. And anyone who has
anyone call me sheyesh lo einam, anyone who has eyes, liros yireh, anyone who has eyes to see will see.
Isavar ha makira idei sheyavo li yar
Liyiridas Mitzrayim.
Liyiridas Mitzrayim. Because he thinks that the sale was the reason that they descended to Egypt. Shechain darshu b'mikomos harbe v'yish lachhu me mamak Chevron ma'atzei amuke shel tzadik hakavod hakavor b'chavoron shene'amar li ki ger yeh zaro. Shechain, therefore.
Labute.
Thank you. We derive from the place, from many places, that they were sent. What is ma'amak?
Emek Chevron, right? The when Yosef was sent, right, to find his brothers, right, he was sent Emek Chevron from the depths of Chevron, right?
Okay, when he was sent from the depths of Hebron, and what is this word, matzah?
That Ma'etzer from the counsel, the advice, Amuka, Ma'etzer Amuka shel Tzadik HaKorver b'Chevron. What does it mean, Ma'emek Chevron, from the depths of Chevron, from the Eitzer, he was sent because of the Eitzer, right? That counsel which was taken from the Amuka shel Tzadik HaKorver b'Chevron, from the depths of that tzaddik, meaning that's a reference to Avraham Avinu, who was buried in Hebron. Why is it called Emek Hebron? Emek, the depths of Hebron, because it's coming from that statement that was made to Avraham Avinu, who was there buried in Hebron. So therefore it's coming, the Mechira is of Yosef is being developed, is sprouting from the depths of Hebron, because that's where the tzaddik, meaning Avraham Avinu, is buried there in the depths of Hebron, and it was because of that statement that was made to Avraham Avinu that's why there was going to be a Mechiras Yosef.
So he got advice from Abraham? Is that I'm still confused.
It was a result of that Eitzah that was given to Avram Avinu. When the Kadosh Baruch Hu promised Avram Avinu, he promised that his offspring would be enslaved. So that was made to Avram Avinu, and the Mechira of Yosef was a result of that Eitzah, that advice that Hashem gave to Avram Avinu. And it's coming from Emek Hebron, it's coming from the depths of Hebron, because that's a specific reference to Avram Avinu, who's there buried in the depths there by Hebron.
Shneamar lo ki ger yeh zaracha. That he said to him, Hashem said to Abraham, because a stranger you will be, because your offspring will be strangers. V'hinei haya ha shavud shel Mitzrayim Sava the Makira lo shetehe ha Makira Sava the Shibud. And it was that Shibud is the subjugation.
Yes, that's right.
The subjugation of Egypt, Sava, is that to think?
Seba, Seba is the cause of the Sheba.
Is the cause of the sale, not that it was the sale was the cause of the shibud, of the subjugation. The subjugation of Mitzrayim was the cause of the sale, not that the sale was the cause of the subjugation.
Right.
So the subjugation was the cause of the sale because Hashem said, you need to go down to Mitzrayim, and then he brought about that the sale would happen in order to affect that bringing down to Mitzrayim. V'hit paro she matzo sava be'anan be'inyan hagadol. I'm sorry, hagalus yoter mima she ne'amar b'chol divrei Rabosenu Zal.
One second. Let's see. What does this mean? Well, his Pharaoh Shemitzu Siba be'inyan Golas Yosim Mima Shenemar Kol Dibri Bosenu Zal. Asher Nivne Es Dibri Chachamim Achekach. This is his Pharaoh Shemitzu Siba be'inyan Golas. Right, we see, excuse me. We see that we have found here the unique reason of the exile more than what is said in all the words of our rabbis. Asher Navia as Divrei Chachmasam Achikach. I'm not sure about this line. I'd have to work on this line. I'm not sure. Visfaru Shematsu Siba Be'inyan Golis Yosim Ema Shenemar Kol Divrei Rabbeinu Zal Asher Nivea Es Divrei Chachmasam Achlecha. I'm not sure. Have to see what this means.
Okay. The yesh min hamafrishim
Hamaforshim.
forshim or forshim. That's the commentators. Vahu yoter karov. And it is close.
But who Yosikov? It's more exact. Let's put something. It's more exact. Yosikov is more exact.
Okay, so there's a understanding from the Meforshim that is more exact. Shamar shalo haya ze b'shum chet ella bishvil yisorim shel ahava. That says that it's not, this is not because of sin, rather because of what's Yisorim?
Yisurim shall ava, meaning the question is what was the reason? Okay, we're so far we've been talking about like the causes. What's the cause, right? What caused the going down to Mitzrayim? But here he's going into the reason. What was the reason for it, right? The reason is different than the cause. The cause is if you want to show somehow the cause and effect relationship of the events. What was the reason, right, that we were sent down to Mitzrayim? But the question is, what was the reason why, right? So that, not because there was a sin, not because there was sin, rather it was Yisurim Shel Ava, rather it was because of this concept of Yisurim Shel Ava. Yisurim Shel Ava are troubles and travails of a person, not because of any sin that he did, but rather because Hashem loves him. So that's a strange kind of a thing. Why, if Hashem loves a person, will he bring mishaps and undesirable things upon the person? Why should that be done? So the Gemara explains there's such a concept as Yisurim Shel Ava. Yisurim Shel Ava. Trials and tribulations based on Ava, on love. It's for the love of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that he has for the person that'll bring upon him things which are really undesirable and unpleasant. Okay, that's a whole subject matter in and of itself. But suffice to say, for right now, for our purposes, the going down to Egypt was not decreed upon the offspring of Avraham Avinu because of any sin, but rather it was because they needed to have a suffering, these sufferings that they would undergo in Mitzrayim. They had to do that because of Hashem's love for them. So again, that's a difficult thing to understand, but we'll work on that. We'll get to probably explain a little bit about that here.
Okay. The Chach Havi HaKadosh Baruch Hu Al Yisrael Galus Lenikus Es Yisrael Ule Zachos Yisrael B'ma She Zachu. therefore, Hashem brought on Yisrael exile what's lean kos?
Therefore, Akash Baruch Hu brought the gullus to the Jews. Linkos, as he said, linkos to cleanse them. Likoy is to cleanse them. Liknois Israel, to cleanse the Jews.
To cleanse Israel, uluzachus Israel, and to bring merit to Israel.
This is like here. This is to purify them.
Purify Israel with what? Shizachu. What's shizachu?
Same shurish, the same word, right? That to purify bima shizachu, to purify them in what they needed to be purified. There was some type of purification that had to take place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some type of purification of the Jews had to take place, and that had to take place through the slavery in Mitzrayim.
To cleanse and purify.
Yeah, that's right.
Kach yesh lefaresh. This is the explanation. Ach shezeh ein nir'eh gam kain. Even though this does not seem to be enough, she'elu haya ha'onesh dor echad bilvad va'oso hadur yatso, that these punishments of the generation of one generation alone, and that the generation came out even if I got
So what says so?
Get them.
So it is to explain that the reason for the servitude, the slavery of Mitzrayim, was in order to cleanse and purify Klal Yisrael. However, shezeh ein near gamkein. However, this doesn't also seem to be true. She'ilu haya oinish dor echad b'vad also dor ayotzi. That is it that one door should suffer because of another door that's going to follow, right?
Yesh lomar she hikdush she hakdosh baruch hu mevi yisorim al bnei adam kidei lezach osam lezichosam. There is to say that Hashem brought troubles on the son of a man in order to merit him? This Husam is merit?
Right. So, yes, so there is to say that a Kadosh Baruch Hu brings troubles on people in order to purify them. Right? It is possible to say that Kadosh Baruch Hu is going to bring difficulty, suffering upon people in order to cleanse them. That's true. You could say that.
Oh, that's right. To purify. Purify. Aval matzinu ki dor Ravi'i Yeshovo Hine V'harbe Masu Bagalus. But we find because the fourth generation Yeshovo. Oh. I don't know Yeshovo.
It turns out that we see Ki Doravi Yashuvo. It was the fourth generation that they Shovu, that they were the ones that were Yashuvu. They literally that they returned. The fourth generation they returned. Meaning that maybe could be returning to Eretz Israel. That mean it could be that they returned to Eretz Israel.
Right. And there were many deaths in exile.
Right, there were many deaths. Many Jews died in exile because of the exile. Many Jews died during the course of the exile, and it was only the fourth generation which actually were coming into terribly. I think Shovu. I think that means to come into Eretz Israel, Shovu, to return to Eretz Israel, but I'm not sure.
But wasn't it a lot more than 4 generations? Was
Well, from the time of possibly from the time of the beginning of the real Shibud, there was 210 years. The 210 years, right, could be 3 generations for 210 years, and then one generation in the midbar. Could be the exact accounting of the generations. I'm not so sure about.
yeah.
Uh,
Ech Tamar.
it was again the Shibud Amram. Could be maybe it began with Amram. Amram was the father of Moshe. Then Moshe, Yeshua. That would be three. Maybe could be starting one generation before Amram, perhaps. Amram was a son of Levi. Was Amram a son of Levi? Is that how it goes, Mary? You remember?
No, Yocheved was the daughter of Levi. Amram
Excuse me?
was Yocheved's nephew.
Right.
So Yocheved was the daughter of Levi. So Amram was the next generation after Yocheved, I believe.
After Yocheved, right? So the father of so Amram was a grandson of Levi, yeah?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, could be. Could be. Uh, let's take a look. Let's take a look.
Yep, he was a grandson of Levi.
Oh,
When he was 64 years old, apparently. Amram, let's see, Wikipedia. Wow.
let's see. Let's see. That should be, I think that's a pasuk in Shmos, as a matter of fact. Should be there. Parsha Shmos. Let's take a look. Hold on. Uh,
Yeah, it looks like Amram was a son of Kahat.
ah, okay. Kahat. So you have Levi, then Kahat.
Right.
Very
And
good. That
then
would be right.
Amram,
Yeah.
who married Yehoved. And they had Miriam, Aaron, and Moshe.
Right.
Not
Good.
sure.
So that would work out. If Amram was the grandson of Levi, right?
Right.
He's the son of Kahas, the son of Levi. Amram, the father of Moshe and Aaron and Miriam, was the grandson of Amram. So Levi, there was no Shebud. As Rashi says, we know clearly that there was no Shebud as long as Levi was alive. Levi was the last of the Shvatim to die, and there was no Shebud until Levi passed from the scene. After Levi
Uh,
passed from the scene, then the Shebud began, right?
uh,
So the Shebud began in the time of Kahas and Amram and Moshe, and then you have the fourth generation. The fourth generation, those were the ones who came out of Mitzrayim, and a portion of them went into Israel. So that would work out very good. No, remember that works out good, right?
looks like it.
Well, wait a second, you're forgetting the 40 years though, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but that's still, but the 40 years, right? That generation of 40 years, that was Moshe Rabbeinu's generation, right? The generation of the 40 years, there are two things. There's the Dor Yotzim in Mitzrayim, the door that came out of Mitzrayim. Then there's the Dor Deah, the door of the generation which accepted the Torah. And then there was a generation that came into Eretz Israel, but there were those they were all really in the same generation. They're called different by different names.
Well,
So the generation that came out of Mitzrayim was the generation of Moshe Rabbeinu, which was the third the third generation from when the Shebut began.
well, Moshe was 80 years old when they came out of Mitzrayim.
Right.
So wouldn't that put him a generation prior to the generation that came out?
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm not sure they came out between those who came out were between 20 years and 60 years old. That's the normal, that's the regular count, right, of those who came out of Mitzrayim between 20 and 60 years old.
Wow.
So
Doesn't that make
the fact that
a group that's considered to be a generation that he's not part of?
um not necessarily, but we have a better way of verifying that, because the Kadosh Baruch Hu said that after the Chet of the Meraglim, anyone above 20 years old is not going to come into to Eretz Yisrael, right?
Right.
Right.
That's clearly the generation after Moshe Rabbeinu. So that generation which was allowed to come into Eretz Israel was the generation after Moshe Rabbeinu.
I see.
Those who were under 20 years old at the time.
Right.
So it work out for the fourth generation. Correct?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, good. So that seems to be verifiable. Okay, so let's see. Let's
So we
let's
said,
back up. Let's go back to two lines from the end of that. The V'yesh Lomer Shakadosh Baruch Hu maybe Yisrael al Bnei Adam Karei Zakim. There is to say that a Kadosh Baruch Hu will bring suffering on people in order to purify them. Right? That you can say. Aval, go ahead. Aval,
however, meets Matsinu ki dor revi'i yeshivo hine v'harbe mesu begalus. But we find that in the fourth generation, they returned with many deaths from the exile.
Right. There are many died during those three generations previous. Many people of those three generations previously died.
Right.
Mm.
Including everybody that was 60 when they came out.
Excuse me.
Including all the people that were between 20 and 60 at the time that we came out of Egypt.
Right, and then the people previous to them as well. Those generations. You have two generations before them, right?
Right. Eich Tomar Shehayu Yisurim Shel Ahava Kidei Le Marak Osam She Yishu Le Mala HaGedolah
Maila Hagadola.
Mila HaGedolah Kavan She Mesu Begalus Uvatsar Sam. How is it that we say that there was difficulty from love in order the marek in order to cleanse them, that they should be purified from above, Hagidola, greatly, since that they died in exile, Uvitzartam. I'm not sure what that means.
So timer shir yisrum shel ava kidei lemarik osam she's kula maila gedola kaven shemesu begolas ubitzorosam. Meaning, how can it be said? How can it be said that these are yisrum shel ava in order to purify them, that they should be privileged to a great advantage, Kaven Shemesu Begolas Ubitzorosim, that since because of the fact they died in Golas and with suffering. Meaning, it seems like it doesn't seem like there's much of a purpose in that. To simply have them die, right? To simply have them die with suffering. Why should they be dying with suffering, right? In order to give them some type of purification. Like, so what's the purpose of the purification if they're going to be dying with suffering?
Right.
Think well, it's kind of late, isn't it? Well, I didn't realize we'd get all that time. Well, I tell you what, I think I'd like to go over this paragraph again tomorrow. We better. Okay. Let's just make a point that we'll go over this. We'll go over this paragraph tomorrow, Mitzvah.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay, Yeshikoach.
Very good. Thank you, Lou. Very good. Right. So I will take a short break and we'll continue on with the Mr. Brewers shortly.
Okay.